Hello there, friend, and welcome to another episode of the Hopeful Homeschooling Podcast. I am your host, Kelly Warner with Hope in the Chaos, and I am so excited that you have decided to join me. On today's episode, we are going to have a little bit of fun that is perfect for this time of year, as I am going to deliver you 5 homeschool Valentine's Day cards that I think you actually might need. Valentine's Day, of course, is coming up this weekend. And while I know many people out there are thinking about dinners and boxes of chocolates or maybe just a little getaway. And I know that kids often want to make little cards and have classroom parties or bring things home. Um, Sometimes this is an area where I think homeschool moms get a little overlooked, right? Because if we don't initiate the craft, then it doesn't get done. And of course, if you're a non-crafty homeschooler, like I am, that's just not happening. Okay. Typically, you'll find me doing dishes or grading math or even pouring myself another cup of tea. Um, and I'm okay with that. And my kids are too. But I thought today we could just do something different. And I'm going to share 5 Valentine's Day cards that I think all homeschool moms need. Now, how do I know? Well, friend, I've been homeschooling for more than a decade. We've done it all. We've done the ups, we've done the downs, we've done things right, we've done a whole lot of things wrong. So rather than just leaving you to your own, we are going to not gatekeep, and I'm going to share some information with you. So, friend, if you are multitasking, I'm going to encourage you to listen in really deep. I understand that life doesn't stop just because you want to listen to a podcast episode. But let's really focus because I think this is going to be a great episode for you. All right. And as always, I am reading from notes. So it's not you, it's me, right? And I have yet to figure out this podcast. Of course, it's in its infancy. I have yet to figure out exactly how to put my notes and my camera and all of that so that we can avoid all the looking back and forth. But that's okay. You get what you got. This is real life, right? Good, bad, and typo. All right. So without further ado, friend, here is Valentine's Day card number 1 for homeschool moms. We're starting with a biggie. You ready? You're not behind. Hmm. I don't know who needs to hear this, friend, but I'm guessing there's more than one of us who's looking at their stack of curricula going, I don't think I'm where I should be. Whether there's 180 days in your program or 36 weeks, you're counting the pages going, I don't think I've done enough. My kids and I, we actually just did this the other day because, well, I know that there is no behind in homeschooling. I wrestled with this as well, friend. Okay, I feel like we should be further along, and I know you do too. I know that I should be better about consistency throughout my homeschool days, but it just doesn't happen. We've had so many snafus this year, including an ongoing, family emergency last fall that really derailed our homeschooling. And ooh, I wrestle with it just like you. I gotta put this down. Okay. But here's what I want to remind you and me. Homeschooling is not a race. Our children, they're not behind. They're on their own unique timeline of learning. Okay. Real learning, it doesn't happen in a straight line. And I can tell you that as a homeschool mom who's already graduated too, that we all get there. They all get there in their own unique way. And there's no way that you can teach them everything. And it's virtually impossible for you to complete every page of every program every single year. So here's what I want you to do, friend, if this is the homeschool Valentine that you need most. Okay. I want you to pick one thing that's going well and I want you to jot it down as a win. Okay. And I want you to read it. And perhaps this will help you to work on that mindset, continue to journal some of your wins. Really big on journaling over here because our minds are programmed to see the negative, and we have to really focus on finding the positive. Okay. So Valentine's Day for card for homeschool moms number 2, connection matters more than completing the lesson. And it's true. Now I can tell you again, when my children graduated, they could not tell you which programs we had finished. They have no idea if we did the arts and crafts project on page 47, although there's a fair chance we didn't, right? They could not tell you if they finished all of their minute math lessons or if we did every aspect of the sentence diagramming past the first few, basic workbooks that we worked through. But they will remember, and they can tell you if I listened, I laughed, if learning was safe in our home. Now, I can tell you, friend, that some of our best homeschool days did not look very productive on paper. And in fact, this homeschool day is probably not going to look very productive on paper either. We're going to work on building relationships, actually, as a matter of fact, once I'm done recording and uploading this. Okay? Because, yeah, we're recording and uploading all on the same day because I got behind last week, not feeling well. But relationships, that's where your learning really grows. When you can say, you know what? I want to get to know my children. What interests them? What sparks their creativity? What sparks their curiosity? What gets them excited about learning and doing new things? It's probably not a worksheet of math facts or history dates. And I know I pick on math facts and history dates all the time, but it's just easy. It rolls off the tongue, right? But where can you find connection with your children? Where can you pause the lesson for intentionally connecting with your children? Because as a homeschool mom, sure, you spend a lot of time with them every day. But as I go about groups and forums and whatnot, I see that a lot of times we all wrestle with this of struggling through, oh, you finished your lesson? Okay. Now go do XYZ. Well, I go do XYZ. Well, what about doing something together? So, friend, if this is where you are struggling, I want you to take 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I want you to schedule it out right now, right? Pause this episode if you need to and talk with your child. Maybe you, I don't know, get a bowl of ice cream or something to enjoy with them, or, dig out some coloring pages or work on a puzzle. But I want you to spend 10 minutes with your child and talk. No checklists, no agenda, no quiz. What's your takeaway? What interests you? I noticed you've been really busy doing XYZ. And just start a conversation, not an interrogation. Okay. So moving along, friend, card number 3, you're allowed to change what's not working. I know, I said it. I said it out loud. And I get it. I get it because you spent copious amounts of time last fall or summer picking out the most perfect program. Okay. And I get it. You read through the reviews, you did the assessments, you followed the standard procedure for picking out the proper products. But somewhere along the line, the program that you bought just stopped working the way it was supposed to. We thought it was going to. And yet now you feel like because you paid for it, you're stuck. But you're not, friend. You can embrace the one thing that homeschooling gives that traditional schooling never can, and that's the flexibility to change, to pivot, to pause when something's not working, to change direction if the interest is no longer there, to simplify a program that perhaps is amazing, but there's just too much, right? It's not failure to stop, change, pivot, adapt. Okay, that's wisdom, friend. And you are a very wise, knowing homeschool mother who you see the day to day. So if there is struggle, if there is a constant battle every day to do something, and you're just feeling like this program has run its course, it's okay. Just say, you know what? I got my money's worth. Put it in the closet. Pass it along to another homeschooler. We review homeschool curricula here, right? It's one of my favorite things to do. And so we use a lot of programs that we like. We also have a lot of programs that we know are good. They're just not right for us. And some do become part of our day-to-day for a season or a time. Some we use for the review period and we'd love to add, but they don't quite make the mark. And others, like I said, solid program, not for us. So, friend, if there is something this week that you need to drop, pause, or make easier, this is your permission to do it. All right, moving on to Valentine's Day card for homeschool moms at number 4. Small wins count. Small wins count, my friend. Now, in this world of ours, we tend to measure success with big milestones, right? The Winter Olympics are currently going right now, and we are seeing some of the best athletes of the world. They're showing what hard work, dedication, perseverance really look like, and they're achieving some big milestones. That does not mean that the child who's in a entry-level sports program does not also have big milestones. We're not all Olympic athletes. We're not all professionals, and it's okay. So, yeah, we all get excited when a child reads their first book. And we know that mastering the multiplication tables is exciting. And finishing that 5-paragraph essay, chef's kiss, right? But what about the small ones? What about the child who just read their first sentence, right? The struggling reader who they did it. What about the mom who just math's not going well and yet you taught the lesson and the worksheet was completed and there were no tears. That's a win. Okay. What about the day you just got up and you didn't have it? You didn't have the energy, the stamina for whatever life is lifing and it's hard, but you showed up anyway. And you laughed and you smiled and you engaged with those children. My friend, that's a win. That is the win that the world tends to overlook. And no, we don't write blog posts about them. But those are the wins that count so much more than the big ones. Because it's only because of these small wins that we can even have the big ones. So, friend, if you struggle to identify those small wins, right? I want you to intentionally carry around an index card, a post-it note, whatever, in your pocket. And I want you to just jot down a small win. Maybe your child did their chore without asking, or they said please and thank you without reminding. Perhaps I don't know, fed and watered the dog. Maybe they were kind to their sibling. Those are small wins. Those are small wins, friend. And when we can remember them and focus on them, then we start creating a mindset of what else can we look for? What else can we be excited about? So write down these wins and then keep them and review them. You know, friend, like I said earlier in the podcast, I'm a big fan of journaling and mindset because this world wants to keep us down. It doesn't want us motivated. It doesn't want us excited. It wants us sad and scared and full of doubt and fear and worry. And that brings us to Valentine's Day number 5. And if you are multitasking, friend, I want you to come right back because this is a big one. And we all need to be reminded of this one. Okay? You are exactly the mom that your kid needs. I'm going to say that again. You, dear mama, you are exactly the mom that your child needs. No, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need a teaching degree. You don't need a color-coded schedule that works perfectly every day. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, your biggest strength is not your curriculum, although we talk about curriculum and teaching styles and methods all the time. But the biggest thing that your children need is you. They need your presence. They need you fully engaged in motherhood. And I get it because the world does not want us to enjoy motherhood. It tells us that we're made for so much more. Yet, how can we be made for something more than raising the next generation of human beings? Now, friend, I know, and I speak from experience when I say that motherhood is hard. Raising children is hard. Okay. And it's all hard, all the stages, right? Babies, toddlers, little kids, big kids, adolescents, teenagers, young adults. It's all hard. Okay. But as I've said before, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's wrong. And just because it's hard doesn't mean that you're not called. Okay. Your children were not given to you by accident. Okay. It is a divine appointment, friend. Your Heavenly Father chose you, and He chose you exactly for this child, to walk them through these seasons of life, to be with them in these moments, and the moments in the past, and the moments that are coming in the future, moments that have been filtered through His hands, that the sovereign God of the universe chose for you because He knew you could walk through them. And He picked you because you care about this child. You know this child, and you are invested in their growth, not just academically, but as a whole person. And I get it, friends, that raising children can be challenging, but you, their earthly mother, can always call upon their Heavenly Father for guidance, for reassurance, for strength, for direction. Friend, you are exactly the mother that your children need. And don't ever let this world make you doubt that. Okay? And when doubt creeps in, I want you to remind yourself. I want you to remind yourself that you were chosen for this family. And again, if this is something that you need to work on journaling through and processing through, please do it. Go down to whatever store or maybe grab something online, but record the moments, record the prayers, record the times when, sure, maybe it felt too heavy, but you made it through. Record the seasons in life when you know that God was walking with you, right? The ups and the downs, the hills and the valleys. I'm completely off script right now. Because what He has called you to, He will walk you through, right? And I know I've been doing this parenting thing for a long time. And sometimes it's way harder than we thought it was going to be. And I'm the first person to joke, right? You know, the moment you say your child will never ever, here they come, never evering, right? Keeps us humble, keeps us going back to the cross, keeps us planted at the feet of Jesus, which is exactly where our parenting and our mothering and our homeschooling should start. So, friend, if no one hands you a Valentine's Day this week, consider these yours. 5 of them, right? And if one of these cards, friend, if it was something that you needed to hear, I would be absolutely honored if you would consider just forwarding, sharing, passing this along to your homeschool friends so that they too can be encouraged. Because, friend, we're not meant to do this alone, right? I know we're homeschoolers and we're independent and we like to stay home, but we were made for community. We were made to have friends and like-minded people walk along this life with us, to encourage us, to give us hope, to just be with us. And sometimes it's hard in this modern day world where everything is so connected, yet so very separate. So, friend, it's my reminder that you are doing better than you think. Okay. And if February's got you down, if February homeschooling has you just kind of, okay, I get it. I totally get it. But remember, God loves you. He loves your children. And I know you love them too. And homeschooling may never be perfect, but you are the perfect one to be homeschooling your children this Valentine's Day and every other day. So thank you so much for joining me, friend. I hope that this has been an encouraging episode for you. And I will see you next week when we continue to talk about overcoming that February slump. Until then, have a great day.